Welcome everyone to Over 50, So What? I'm Carol O'Halloran. George Burns said you can't help getting older, but you don't have to get old. And that's what this show is all about, trying new things and having fun. Today we're chatting with Jodie Atkinson about how to process grief and the myths around what you should or shouldn't do. Then time to get active, whether you're sitting, standing or moving in the 5-minute fun fitness. And lastly, we meet some mature age people, definitely proving you don't have to get old. We have men and women up to the age of 85, up in the treetops, on the high ropes. Even I did it. It was really scary at the beginning, climbing up the pole. But the view from the top was amazing. Most of us over 50 will have experienced the loss of a loved one. I still remember the first time it happened to me. I thought I was prepared, but nothing quite prepared me for the unexpected ways I would be affected. Today we're chatting with Jodie Atkinson, grief recovery specialist and author of Have You Met My Grief? Jodie, welcome back to Over 50 So What? Last time we had you on the show, you gave us a great sort of overview of your journey. Now, we didn't really talk about your work as a grief recovery specialist. What does a grief recovery specialist do?
The process that I take someone through with grief recovery method is an education. And what we do is go to the root of the emotions and what's going on around that, rather than looking at how we might feel when we feel a certain way and how we can overcome that feeling. What is that feeling and what is it trying to tell us? So it is about taking actions and making choices through a step-by-step process in order to work through our loss and help people to move beyond the pain of loss, and reconnect to the person in a way that is freed up from, I guess, a lot of the painful memories and a lot of the painful emotions that they may be experiencing.
So previously we discussed that everyone has a different experience with grief, and basically it's just about letting what happens and being kind to yourself. Is that right?
Yes, being kind to yourself. Don't judge yourself. Like if you find yourself, I felt like I became very aware that I was noticing things about myself that were different. Like, interesting that I'm making these choices. Oh, look at you behaving like that. That's unusual for you. I just started to notice things about myself. And rather than judge myself, I was just curious about why I was feeling that way and experiencing that. And, grief, it does change you. Learning to lean into it, which is easier said than done, enables you to have that sense of, I just need to learn to take time out for myself. I need to put these boundaries in place for me and take care of myself.
Are there any misconceptions around grief? I think we discussed it briefly before about other people approaching you. What are some of the myths and misconceptions about losing someone?
So through the grief recovery method, we look at myths of grief. So quite often you'll hear someone say, be strong. Actually, we don't have to be strong. We don't have to feel strong, and we certainly don't have to be strong for others. Another one would be grieving alone. You know the saying about smile and the world smiles with you, or grieve and you grieve alone. Not everybody feels safe to be in isolation when they're grieving. Some people may feel they need to pull back occasionally, but not everyone wants to be left alone. One we often hear is give it time, or time is a healer. We don't tell people with a broken arm to just go and give it time, do we? We tend to tell them that they need to go and seek medical attention or some support with that. When we're dealing with grief, it's an internal thing. We can't see it, but it is something that still needs to have attention. Quite often people will be told not to feel bad or not to feel sad about what's happened. And the reality is people are going to feel how they're going to feel. You telling them not to cry doesn't mean they won't cry. Telling them not to feel bad doesn't mean they're not going to feel bad. Their feelings are what they are experiencing. They're real, they're raw, they're valid. And I think the other big thing is quite often replacing the loss, especially around pet loss. You can get another dog or you can replace, pets, but it's really hard to replace a human. As a young widow, I was told, look, you'll meet someone new one day. And it's just like the last thing on your mind is meeting someone new when you're dealing with the loss of, your significant other, in my case, the love of my life. A lot of these comments are very minimizing of the emotions that the person who's grieving is experiencing, and minimizing of the person potentially that they've lost as well. I came up with 4 sentences that I felt helped me extract myself from conversations and situations I didn't want to be part of. That's not how I feel. That's not what I think. That's not what I believe. And that's not my experience. And that sort of put a stop to people projecting toward me, and being able to put that boundary in place in order to stop that conversation from happening. But it was also gentle enough that it wasn't going to be offensive to them either. Like, there's that weird line that you feel responsible for hurting other people's feelings while you're at a really emotional, vulnerable state yourself. And it's really hard. So learning ways in which to communicate how you're feeling and getting that across, that's something that I'm really passionate about, actually, is when you're in that state, you're not really in a position to be thinking about, how do I manage this in the best possible way, or what can I say? So that's something that I want to bring to this space.
So tell us about your book, Have You Met My Grief? And did that help you with your own grieving process?
Yes, it did, in a way. Like, it was nice to be able to put onto paper a lot of stuff. There's a section at the end of each chapter on tips and things that we've covered, because when you're emotional, and with grief in particular, your concentration's not great. You don't retain information. So the chapters are short. It's not meant to be war and peace. People who are grieving cannot possibly have a big document to work through. So it is designed for people who are struggling with lack of concentration, feeling a bit foggy. It's written so that it's easy to follow and put down and pick up when you need to.
Now, you also offer a 15-minute phone call, a free phone call for people to chat to you about navigating their grief. Can you tell us how you work with people and what that's all about?
So that 15 minutes is really just for them to sort of find out what I do, because grief recovery specialist or grief recovery method isn't something that everybody's heard of. So I go through that with them. And it's also an opportunity to get to know their story a little bit, and where I can help them and what I can offer. We do spend a bit of time unlearning some of the things that we've learned through society, through those myths of grief, those unhelpful platitudes and things that people often tell us. And it's about unlearning those things so that we can learn how to communicate and how to navigate our loss, and how to work through putting down emotional rocks that we carry, rather than just shifting them to different pockets and different parts of the emotional backpack that we might be carrying. So it's actually about getting underneath all of that stuff and finding out, when people say, I'm feeling, quite often the hand is on the chest. Rarely is it up here going, I feel this way. So going to the root of the problem, using the emotions, the heart, to resolve those things, rather than intellectualizing our feelings and our grief.
Well, thank you so much for our chat today, and that great idea of yours about when you want to help the other person deal with your grief, because otherwise you'd be scrambling around trying to find out what to say. But giving them, someone a tool when they're in that emotional state of what to say to other people, that is fantastic. Thank you so much, Jodie.
Thank you, Carol.
Vitality, woo! Hi everyone, we're going to learn a line dance today in our 5-minute fitness. And this is called the Fireball. But of course, with licensing, music licensing, we can't use the song Fireball, but we're going to teach you the moves. So I'll give you a preview. This is the finished product. And then we're going to do step and point. And a box step, we go over, back, together. That's it. That's what it looks like. 1, 2, 3, and tap. That's what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3, tap side. 1, 2, 3, tap side. 1, 2, 3. That's it. And point. Bring it forward. Forward. Back. Yeah, forward. Woo. Forward. Down. Forward, that's it. 2 more. Hold it there. And step, point, step, point, step, point, step, point, step, point. Now we're just going to try that coming forward. Step, point, step, point, step, point, step, point. Now we're just going to walk it back so we can do it again. Ready? Step and point. Step, point, step, point, step, point, step, point, step, point, step, point, step, point. And walk it back. Now 3 walks and a tap. 1, 2, 3, point. 1, 2, 3, point. Last one. Now step and point. Step, point, step, point, step, point, step. Hold it there and walk. So that's the first 2 moves together. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, point, back. 2, 3, point. Forward, 2, 3, point, back. Step and point. Step, point, step, point, step, point, step, point. And walk it back. We'll just do that one more time for luck. 1, 2, 3, back, 2, 3, point, forward, 2, 3, point, back, step and point, step, point, step, point, step, point, step, point. Now hold it there, we've got a new move, called a box step. We just finished with this leg out. We're going to do a box step, over, back, back, step, over, back, back, step, over. And when you do it in the line dance, you do it so that you end up facing the other wall. Okay, we're going to do it faster. Here we go. Over, back, back, step, over, back, back, step, over, back, back, step. Yes! Bop, 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 ba-dop, ba-dop, bop, bop. Ooh-ah! You're going to be feeling great after doing this. If you can't quite get the move, just move your body, move your arms. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Back. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. Okay, let's go. Forward. 1, 2, 3, tap. Back. 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1. Okay. Step and point. Step, point, step, point, step, point, step, point. Walk. From the beginning. 1, 2, 3, tap. Back. 2, 3, tap. Forward. 2, 3, tap. Back. Step and point. Step, point, step, point, step. Okay, box step. Over, back, back, step, over, back. We're going to do a few more so you get the hang of it. Over, back, back, step, over, back. Woo! Oh, this is such a good move, isn't it? Okay, let's go back to the beginning. This is the fireball. What is it? Fireball. 3 walks and tap. 1, 2, 3, point. Point. Okay, step and point. Step, point, step, point, step, point. Box step. Over, back, back, step, over, back. That's it. Back to the beginning. Because we would be doing round and round and round and round and round and round circles. 2, 3, tap, back, 2, 3, tap. Okay, everybody, what is it? It's a fireball. We're awesome, you're awesome. So we're having lots of fun at a Great Getaways camp, and we've got the camp coordinator with us. Sandra Murphy.
Hi, how are you?
How long have you been working with Getaways?
The Getaways, so I started working, I suppose it was a start of this year, maybe February, March, so I'm pretty new, but it's been pretty exciting so far.
Do you get out on the camps much, or is it more back organising everything?
It's mainly back organising. This is my first time on a camp, so I'm on a Great Getaways camp anyway, but I'm loving it. It's a really, really good group and hope everyone's enjoying themselves.
So this is your first time on a camp with over 50s, is it?
Correct.
Oh,
yeah.
over 55s, and so how have we all pulled up then?
Oh my goodness, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of courage and fearless group. They really are amazing.
Up to 85 and going up on the high wire.
Oh my goodness, that's inspiration. I was terrified. I got up last and I was shaking, but everyone else, not a bother.
I don't know. I was shaking. There was lots of us shaking. Don't you worry. Even though you're a million years younger than us. So can you tell us a bit about the Great Getaways? They're for 55 plus.
Yeah. So basically, what we do is we have weekend camps. So starts on a Friday, finishes on a Saturday, and we do Sunday, and we do basically adventure activities for anyone from. You don't have to be 55. You can be 50. You can be whatever age, but for the older population, yeah.
Welcome to High Ropes. This here is our postman's walk. They do range from easiest to hardest. Basically the way it will work, you'll walk up the ladder, of course you'll be clipped in with our safety, and you'll work your way up the staples and around to the top of the platform. Here, with 2 hands, you can bring the rope in front of you if you need, and just shimmy your way, and shimmy your way across.
Shimmy. This is not dancing shimmy,
you can dance up there if it makes you feel
your
more
shoulders.
That's attached to you, and I need you to lean back with nice straight legs, a bit like abseiling. Let this, perfect. Now I'm going to gently keep your legs in contact. Awesome.
Oh, this is the best bit.
Yay!
And nice and gentle. Awesome, great work.
Great stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, Joy. Are you ready?
Am I ready? Am I ready?
Yeah. All right, you got this. We come over across this way, guys. Yeah, it'll feel nice. It'll feel nice. Snug.
Okay.
Excellent. So we're back to that side. Perfect, Chris.
This could be the end of me.
Doing well, Carol.
That's the easy bit.
That's it.
Wave. No, I'm not going to wave. I'm hanging on, baby.
Oh, doing really well.
Unless you want to come back in the ladder.
That'd be worse.
Doing well, Carol. Are we going to try and make our way all the way to the pole?
You going all the way to the pole and then back out? See the other
Okay.
All right.
I think I'm ready to come
Happy
down.
there? Amazing.
Now you can wave to it.
Will I go behind you?
Just gonna, I should be okay. But, so holding on to the white rope that's attached to you, leaning back with straight legs for me.
Okay, you ready? Are you ready, Lee?
Yep.
Okay.
Leaning back for me.
Well done. Great work.
Great work. Doing good.
Woohoo! Give us a smile, Carol! Yay! Woo! We are the champions!
Excellent.
Woohoo! Over 50? So what?
Great work. All right, amazing. How was that? Like jelly.
Yeah, it's not that wire, sort of. It's got to be a coarse thing.
Oh, yeah, the pole's definitely wobbled. Just like to add a little bit of an extra challenge for you.
All right, who's up next, guys?
Oh my God, guys, I'm so glad I did that, but you know, whew, what an effort. Okay, you're going. Okay, Victor. off you
Ladies
go.
first.
Don't mention about it.
How's your man doing up there?
He seems to be doing okay. I think it's his first time, so
It's his first time?
yeah, I think so. So I'm taking a video of him.
Very good. So how did you find it? You were up there very quick.
Oh yes, that was very scary, but I'm glad I did it.
And so he probably thought if you can do it, he can do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Can't be beaten by a woman. Yes.
How was that, Chris?
Oh, it was great, except very scary. And you know, when you're up there, because the ropes are close together, yeah, and I'm tall, it felt a bit awkward. But once I started coming down, it was good.
Have you ever done anything like that before?
Never.
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 And then because you saw Hugh do it, you thought, yeah, you couldn't do
Well, I
it.
have to do it, don't I?
So how did it feel coming back down?
Oh, it felt great coming down.
That was the best part,
That
right?
was the best part, yeah.
It's all over.
Yeah, it's all over. Yeah.
Can we ask you how old you are?
77.
77, awesome. So what would you say to someone watching us who's over 70 about giving something like this a go?
It's worth a go, yes.
Yeah.
You know, you got to try something. You know, we rode the bikes today and haven't done that for 60 years, so this is great.
Oh, good on you, Chris. Awesome stuff. Keep it up.
Thank you.
See you again at 85, 87, right?
Maybe, yes. If I'm still around.
You'll be around. If you get the chance to go to a residential camp, go for it. You don't have to do all the adventure activities. You can just go for a walk and watch other people do it. For more info on Great Getaways for over 55s, go to Australian Camps Association. And if you or a loved one is experiencing grief, check out Jodie Atkinson's book, Have You Met My Grief? This may prove helpful at this challenging time. Please connect with us on Facebook, YouTube or Insta. Over 50, so what? Check out our website too for replays and guest info. Keep active, keep making friends, and why not try something new today? I'm Carol, over 50, so what? Thanks for watching our TV show. Be sure to hit subscribe and then you'll never miss an episode. Jump on Facebook, join our group, get in on the fun, fitness, wellness and inspiration. I'm Carol, over 50, so what?